Okay, I had this video one time where my fingers were turning green. And it was long ago, and this girl named Heather, I sent the video to her and then it disappeared off my phone. And so look at my fingers. I've been freezing today inside. And then look at this finger. It's just automatically, it's not even me, it's not even myself, it is not mine. And it's like, as soon as I was about to touch the top of a spray, it's like my finger, even before that, started to feel numb, and now it's. So is this a curse? Is this a hex? Is this from this girl, Heather? So here I find myself saying, stop watching that video right now. Stop it. Because I'm not in frostbite conditions. I know what it's like. I have had my fingers frostbitten before. But for it to turn green, now I've had the video where my fingers were green. And then it went away. And so I'll just mark this timing so you can see they're kind of like yellow. Now, don't get me wrong. I've been painting my yellow door, but nothing to do with paint. This was yesterday. And so it's very numbing. It hurts. And there's no one I know that's dealing with frostbite right now. My hands, oh my. They don't even look like my hands. It's so unusual. Like if you look at this hand. But they are. How can I say I'm aging? But still, to have that, like, I've not subjected myself to anything that would make that happen. Don't get me wrong, I have a cushion that I'm covering, but still. I know it'll subside, but I'm just making a video to prove it, because it's unusual. You can see it's evident. Even my hands look different. Look at that. Even this. What's that? It's just me aging, I guess. And these phones, of course, you see Marla. Look. Yeah, she's even sniffing, going, what's going on? I know, right? What's going on with Mommy? What's going on with her fingertip? And don't get me wrong, I was holding on to this beautiful crystal and before that, but I didn't feel any of this. It's almost like somebody I have the statue of Merlin, and this guy, Richard, he was so desperate to find out. He couldn't pass my door. It's really strange. And he handed me the statue. It was really weird. He couldn't come in. And there's more to the story than that. But either way, I'd taken that statue and I put it in a special place. And then he kept texting me and going, where did you put that crystal? Or I mean, where did you put that Merlin statue? Where did you put it? I need to know. And he was so persistent knowing where it was. And he just kept on tormenting me like nonstop. So I gave in. I just told him where it was. And that statue has never been the same since. And so I didn't touch that statue. Somebody did say, oh, put it outside. But then, you know what? I had a crystal grid in my garden during the full moon and before that, long before that. And it disappeared. And I know the wind didn't carry it, because it wasn't in my neighbor's yard, and there's a fence, and it was between the shed and the garage, so it's a low area where there's not a lot of wind, and yeah, very unusual to say the least. But yeah, so yeah, I'm not running off to emergency to go check this out, because I know that it's going to subside and go away soon enough. I'll put my fingers in some Epsom salts. See, it's kind of weird. I have like something there. So I'll go put my fingers in Epsom salts and see what happens. Actually, let's do it now. I'll keep this video going because this is very unusual to say the least. Come on, baby girl. Come on. Oh my. heels went in, maybe that'll help. And this other one. Sometimes you have to clear energies and emotions, things that are not yours. So I have it at a room temperature. It's not warm, it's not cold. So now I'm putting some warm water in there to see if it makes a difference. You know, I've been finding really strange things in my body, like I've got bruising around my ankles that are kind of a little bit, well, not quite that, but yeah, I got, it's almost like as if you would think I had ropes tied around my ankles, like scarring. Or not scarring, but it's like, I'll show you what I mean. It's like, see how the discoloration in my feet? And so really unusual stuff going on. Oh, pardon me. The phone's being touched. Yeah, let me see if that subsides at all. Yeah. It's like, I know what it's like to have frostbite. And so it, you know, it's kind of like a reminder of that. And I'm in summer, it's beautiful outside. And it's kind of reminding me now as to what, as soon as I woke up, Spirit said, go outside, go outside. And I'm planning on it. I was just having breakfast, doing my thing. See, it's coming back. But isn't that unusual? So the Epsom salts, thank you. And thank you. It's helping cleanse and clear. And so that's just a witness right there as to how things can be. But I know for sure this woman, she has this video of mine and trying to connect with me, I guess, in a way, in a different way that I don't welcome. She's a healer and a teacher, and she had done some real unethical things. You know, when people do witchcraft, evil stuff, curses, hacks, different things. And I don't like to associate with that kind of person or people that do hexes and curses, and they call it Italians and latches and leeches, and does odd things to help other people heal. But they'll invade people's sovereign space and sovereign beings. Yeah, it's starting to leave now. You can feel the energy on my fingers as they ignite. I'm a healer too, but at the same time, I don't go around advertising it. And I don't need to have anyone trying to attack me in the process, because I'm not doing things the way they would do them. There's many out there that'll say do whatever it takes. To me, you're making a deal with the devil, like, or demonic beings. Blessed be, I believe in the angels, I believe in the fairies, the gnomes, even the green man. Buddha knows. And more. Listen, Master Jesus, Yep, some say away. Joshua, many names. Moses, even that, believe it or not. Light beings. Yeah. Another one I'm being blocked to say, but that's okay. Yeah, Elijah for sure. Make things disappear, please. They're not welcome here. They aren't of a higher source. Of love and light. See how the color is changing? Just from the salt in the water. And the body is healing itself. But see it? It's like how red it is. Unusual phenomena that has a science. And the water is not green. Like, so you can see I didn't have anything. And just so you know, that finger is tingling like crazy. Now, maybe there's voodoo. You know, they talk about this story I was told by another, that witch doctors, evil beings, that turn around, they say a Caucasian woman's finger is very valuable, and what they do is they bury it, they cut it off, and people, I guess in Africa, will steal body parts, and they say a woman's Caucasian finger can be buried, and especially if they're a healer or if they're able to do things. And then what they do is they, let's say somebody is attached to the fact that maybe they're going to die or something's going on or they want wealth or they want whatever, and this being, this human being, will do that for them at a cost financially. It's like evil, evil, evil stuff. To me, that's demonic. It's a human being being demonic. Don't get me wrong. There are people that have these cultures, have these ways where they do voodoo, and you're kind of going, okay, maybe I understand why. Because if crazy shit happens to them because they're so talented and they're so good when they're healing or doing different things, and then all of a sudden something comes along and is doing stuff like this, it's insane. And I just don't want anything to do with any of those kinds of beings, of human beings, that purposely cause pain and suffering upon others. And you know, there's those that will be warlocks, for example, witches, like I said, sorcerers, magicians, whatever the case may be. And they'll do evil, evil, evil stuff to people. Like we're talking evil, evil, demonic stuff. And it's their own demise. And there's so many unsettling things that they do. They find it entertaining, and then they don't even think of the impact they have on people's ascension, their well-being, the sovereign space. You know, it's bad enough I had to move because some freaking evil person stalking me. Blessed be Archangel Michael, may you help, please. Angels. It's just nonstop, but it's to stay with my energy, please, within my auric field, Lamora. Blessed be Lamora. Interesting. Either way. And you know what's really interesting is not being on my phone. Other than this right now. I just grabbed my phone to record this, and my phone is in my left hand. This is my right. And so I grabbed it just to videotape, but I hadn't touched my phone at all today. Or did I? Let me stand corrected for a moment. No, I haven't. That's my truth. So yeah, I feel the energy. It's like that whole finger is lit up. Have you ever had your finger just throb? There you go. There's an example. Have you ever hit your finger and it just throbbed? But it's not really pain. If you sit with it, you'll see it's not painful, but it's the vibration that sends a signal to the brain that tells you it's painful. But that vibration, that throbbing, that feeling, picture having that. That's what I have with this finger right now. It is like vibrating. Well, here, maybe I can just keep my hand still and you can see it. I mean, I had my nails done not that long ago. You wouldn't know it. Lord love a duck. And so, just putting my hands over the camera for a quick second. You can see my auric field is red right now. Call me Red Thunderbird Woman. As you can see now, the light is pink. Oh, on my skin it's pink, but water it's white. So my finger is healing thanks to the Epsom salts and the warm water and the energy. You know, I've had this happen before where I've woken up in the middle of the night and my hands were throbbing in pain. And then those tried to tell me it was my ex-mother-in-law when she was at night and I was picking up her pain bodies. Whether she was sending them to me or she herself, I was just picking them up from her, I'm not sure. She's since passed now. She was my mother-in-law for 28 years. By the time she passed, if I hadn't had a separation divorce, it would have been 33 years. It's interesting how things just unfold. But I'll appreciate what it was that we had as an experience. I was blessed to send a beautiful picture of her to my niece, and the beautiful thing about it was our beautiful trip away, which was much needed for her at that time, to go to Arizona. And okay. So as you can see, much better than before. But you can see how personally, like the finger right here all the way down, was personally affected. You can see from the top there. And it's like there's a little bump there or something, like a bite, but no, There's nothing that bit me to make my fingers turn green. But again, this woman, Heather, she crosses the line. She's so beyond unethical, the things that she does. Maybe that's just Spirit's way of showing me she's being invasive and the sovereign space my being. Oh well, we've been videotaping this, or I have been, for 21.10 now. Wow. And don't get me wrong, Dolores Cannon spoke of, she goes, she's showing me in one of her books, I saw this divine being, and I was relating to a lot of the things in her book. And then it was like, because I'd be turned to certain pages to resonate and go, yep, I can relate to this, Dolores Cannon. Yep, I can relate to that. I speak to Spirit. So she had me grab my angelical crystal, and then she had me take that crystal and put it on top of the picture of the divine being. So last night it was kind of like, and this was a long time ago now, but last night something came forward. Now that could be someone else's conversation and it's resonating with me, however it may be. And we're all crystals, our bodies. And so when I think about, last night I was getting this manual that, oh, you are a divine being, but you're an angel within your divine being self. But not only are you an angel within your divine being self, you are you, Tina Marie. It's Tina Marie within the angelical presence, which is within the divine being. And so I've been going on this thing lately where I'm like, yeah, don't believe in the higher self. No, thank you. Not with the trickery and everything that goes on and people pretending to be people's higher selves. And I'm talking about Spirit too. Spirit will, all types of spirits will come in and they will try to pretend they're your higher self. And I'm talking those that have died and they're earthbound, they're wandering around and they try to come in and hijack you and pretend to be your higher self. Some of elegance, some not. Consciousness, personalities, and everything of the sort. And so I'm just like, the Buddhist in me is like, yeah, no. I have my soul star, which I'm connected to. I have my earth star, which I'm connected to. And then, of course, my soul. So my soul with my, my soul star and my earth star, which makes me the being that I am. So does that mean my soul is a divine being? My angelical self is a soul star that's connected divinely with the earth star of the being of who I am, and concentrating more fully on the here and now and being Tina Marie, the human I am. I do know one thing is for sure. I pick up people's pain bodies and energy so very easily. We're talking like, and so I walk around in my mind most times where I'm like, not my pain body. And it's not. It's like when you're like, wow, it's like my ankle hurts. I didn't sprain it, but why do I feel like I barely can walk on it? Like we're talking like instant sprain. Like, have you ever done that? You haven't flipped your ankle. You just feel that pain. Or I've said this many times before in other videos. It's like, all of a sudden it's like feeling a gunshot. But I'm talking about pain. Spirit can show me, okay, gunshot or something to the brain. But then there's times where it's like painful. That's when you know there's sometimes a witchery, witchcraft, warlock, voodoo. I'm not even probably naming some of the things that people make up that are being tricked into helping ease their pain by trying to take advantage of human beings like myself. And so then we feel it, and it's like, okay, I did not get a gunshot to the shoulder. And then I find myself, the only way is movement and dancing. I remember listening to this song, Little Richie, And I thought of my dad, and I started dancing. My dad was a great dancer. And so I just started dancing it out, that gunshot wound feeling. And then it subsided and left completely. And so, you know, there's odd things like, for example, Spirit was showing me when I was in the park, and I was getting like hit in the head with a shovel, and it hurt. I'm like, what the heck? And then the other day I was walking in the park, and I said, no, that's Beaudry Park. There's somebody that's been buried there. And so then I'm now, or that could have been somebody envisioning hitting me in the head with a shovel, and who knows. But either way, Spirit was showing me differently. I was in another park, and I'm like, okay, phew, there's no body there, right? Because with all that uproot of the way the mud and everything is, and they're like, no. And then I was myself having remembrance of that shovel to the head kind of thing. And then Spirit showed me what that would feel like, and it wouldn't hurt. So there's pain bodies that come in and go, and it's just like, whoa, you know, trying to figure, what is this? Is somebody trying to transcend their pain onto me? It's like when they say, when somebody dies, they don't feel their pain bodies. I don't know if I believe that to be true. I've helped a soul when he was trapped under a car, and he transcended into the light, and I'm thankful for my guides helping as well. And I felt that ricochet effect, the pain of the rebar in his chest, and I felt it. I didn't see it. I saw the accident as in before the EMS and all that came. Like I saw that there was the vehicle, there was obviously something going on. It put a standstill to the traffic and everything, and then I knew, and there's communication, but I wasn't the police officer, of course, underneath the car. She was the one holding his hand, because I'm like, hold his hand. So seemingly, it's amazing how powerful things can be if you are of light and you are of consciousness in a way of love and kindness, and you're connected soulfully. And so my finger's getting much better. But now the throbbing is gone, the ache and pain is gone, and now it's kind of like almost hard to bend my finger, like it's had an injury. So now it's kind of like showing me, oh, somebody had gotten hit by a hammer or something, and now it's healing, and they're slowly moving their finger again. And so yeah, these are the odd occurrences that can occur for me. But what's really unusual is that marking. See that marking on my finger? So is that like a poison dart? I'm not sure. Something. And so, like I said, I know that this woman is can be evil, especially when you know that she has taken over other things that other people have created. I've talked about this before. There are people out there that are getting these beautiful awards, some so very deserving, so deserving. And then there's others, you know, that they've, let's just say, found a way of an ascension ladder where they are pushing other people down below them, and they consciously maybe not even be aware that they do this, but they've done some unethical things to other human beings. And once a life review is reviewed, they'll see how they had personal effect on other human beings and their ascension by, let's say, stealing people's ideas, people's inventions, people's creations, and have done real unethical things. But at least we know the universal laws with the Golden Council, light of karma. And so it's said in many different ways. However, I know what that means, and I'm calling on them now so that they can investigate this for me. This goes beyond the dominions. We're talking about divine beings that look into things and find out what it is. Is this a karmic thing for me? Or is this something of a psychic attack due to those that are full of ill regard, ill intent, jealousy, trickery, game playing? And so sometimes people get entrapped in things and think somebody is saying something or whatever the case may be, and this is evil that does this. They
try to play with people's minds, amongst other things. Don't feed into it. Use discernment. Say no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. I'm not going into that rabbit hole, wormhole, whatever you want to call it with you. Especially if it's not of love and light and kindness and so forth. So may I be free from anger. May I be free from ill will. May I be free from jealousy. May I be free from mental suffering. May I be free from physical suffering. May I live in peace. May I live happily. I don't know if you noticed that, but there was just this, see, it's almost like a little dark thing that left my finger. You may not be able to see it, but I did. And so sometimes what will happen is certain things will try see into the light. Sometimes people will try to do certain things that are very much unethical. And as you can see, the light has changed a bit, even in the sink. See, look at the difference there. And so we'll wash it down through the drain and pray with wishes for help within the divine, for it to clear through and out into the waters and go into the light as it may, and pray for the Golden Council as well to come forward and help, and the Golden Council of Metta, but also the Golden Council of Merit, and to see and further investigate what that may have been that I experienced that now shows a mark on my finger that wasn't there before. This is a new mark. And so that could be, like I said, the witchcraft, the warlock, the voodoo, the stuff. I stay away from that. You know, some would say, oh, she's wickedly good, because I saw there's a film coming up tonight, actually, about that. And so I'm like, oh, maybe one shall go and check it out. We'll see. But either way, it's not like me to watch TV or videos or movies or whatever the case may be. But at the same time, I'm thankful. And it's interesting because my camera, it shows, see, I'm now clearing it away. I'm thankful for water, the silver lace, the beautiful water, the content and clear. And my finger is, oh, so much better. Oh my gosh. This thing here, and it wasn't a sting. I didn't get a sting. I didn't get a bite. But again, that can be just a witness to a poison arrow, something like, or a laser tongue sort of thing that someone else has bestowed upon me. Because sometimes that will happen too. Here, I'm going to put some more Epsom salt. And by the way, in case you're wondering, not that I'm doing an advertisement of any sort, but there is, it's called Dr. Peel Pure Epsom Salt Soaking Solution. And this one helps ease aches and pains. So it's kind of funny. I'll show you. But not only that, you see, there was another kind as well that I will show you that you can always have in your home, because you just never know. Like, at times I have been, it's almost like when you've been poisoned, and we're talking you haven't eaten anything to cause poisoning because you were fasting and different things and you knew it was in your body. So there is this beautiful stuff as well. Blessed be. This is the company. And this is rose petal, deep relax. And all the ingredients in that I used as well. And so I'm just going to soak my finger one more time. So if odd things like that happen to you, there is solutions. I mean, by the time you run to the doctors to go get that checked out if you disappeared, and then you'd be kind of looked at like, okay, this person is crazy. What is going on? But unfortunately, some of us, I mean, Mystic Buddhists, not that I need to even label myself that way, I have a wealth of education in this spiritual, let's say, community, and spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on things and courses, amongst other things, and recognize that You know, sometimes you can just surround yourself with some of these people that do these awful, awful things, and they don't even think twice about it because they're living in fear. Or they feel like they have so much to lose if somebody was to find out the truth and the unethical things that they do. And so, yeah. So yeah, I put some more in and I'm just... So I've done things before where I've taken crystals with different things and Saint Germain coming in and angels as well, and believe it or not, God creation, all that is, Green Tara, Kuan Yin, and they help me. And they're enlightened beings. They're not there to cause people pain and suffering. They're there to be with those of light that ask for help and understand from their own human being experience pain and suffering. I look at the tap and it reminds me of my dog who crossed. It's a reflection now. And so, you know, that gets me on a quick topic. I posted something about soulful remembrance of things and how it gets imprinted, and you look at some animals and you can see through their fur and you're like, oh, look at that. There's these animals, there's these people. It's like my beautiful buffalo drum, and I look at it and you just look at it and you can see, oh wow, the buffalo is seeing this family, 3 kids, a woman with a bowl in her hand and a man. And that imprinted that buffalo so greatly. It was in the body of the buffalo, but the buffalo, it also showed a tree in front of that. So the buffalo would have been behind the tree and would have seen this family. And then all these different animals the buffalo would have seen. So it's interesting how animals imprint upon themselves their experiences. In soulful remembrance, it's proof that we all have experiences, and that we can, with our experiences, it can be imprinted in our body. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, so my experience right now is being imprinted, this remembrance. Even though we have technology, we have all these things. And before all of that, people could look at people, animals, and they could see the imprinting of that person, the experiences of them. And in today, it's like you watch somebody and you see the way they walk. You see the way they carry themselves. You see certain things. And not that you want to psychoanalyze people by any means, unless, you know, a person's asking for that help. But at the same time, you can see like how different, you know, things are. And so always keep in mind, though, that when you see this video and other videos, the color and what I see with my naked eye and what I see in the sink is different. And so, and that's okay. It's just the way it is. But yeah, now it's like, see, it's, even though I have elder hands, you know, you think about the days when you were just so young, and you don't think of those times until you're much older. It's okay to look, but not stare, and just be with what is. That's what I've been taught many years ago, to say the least, and I'm grateful. And so, yeah, now it's getting better, and see that, remember what was on that video earlier? It's starting to leave. It's still there, though. Isn't that unusual? Can you see it? And sometimes what happens with my phone, and this is where I feel like we don't have any privacy that goes for anyone. So turn around and I'm like looking at this, and it was like a flash that happens within my phone. So there's my phone, and then within my phone there is something that takes pictures. And I know because I've heard my phone before where it's like, where all of a sudden it's like you're watching something and it's like your phone flashes and you're like, wait a second, somebody is taking a picture within my video. That could have something to do with the satellite systems and technology. Trust me, there are things that are happening way beyond our comprehension. Back in 1945 when the war stopped, you know what happened? There was technology already invented, but they couldn't introduce it to society. It's like when you have these pictures or you see these pictures of grays. Well, the grays and the blues were at war many, many, many years and years ago. And the grays got shot down, so that's why they were seen by human beings. And then I believe they were experimented on by human beings. And so at the same time, the grays, my understanding, were experimenting on human beings. And the blues were like, no, this cannot be happening. And so, because they're of a different race, it's almost like a different world. And so even today, like I've met a U.S. Navy officer, more than one actually, and one had told me in the laundromat that, he said, yeah, he sees spaceships all the time. And then he talked about the aerospace and how the government, and this was way before the president that's now, and then the one prior, and then him prior even to that, the aerospace and allowing for ships to fly above a certain, so you'll see airplanes flying way lower than normally before. And this has been going on for years, more than 3 years. This has been going on for years and years. It just became public about more than 3 years ago. So that would have been 2020. So 6, and then even before that. I myself have witnessed what looked like a Darth Vader ship. And it wasn't anybody trying to mess with my psyche. I just seen what I seen. It was like time stopped, and as it was hovering down over all of us women around a bonfire, everybody was frozen, and they were all, it was really weird, but they're all looking up. And I myself felt like something transcend through me, and my head went down, and it looked at every person around the fire. And then my head went up, and then the energy left me and went into that ship and then left. And it was me that recognized it first and said to the creator, of the retreat at the time, her name is Sherry, medicine woman in Alberta, and I said to her, I turned over, and there was 2 Sherrys actually next to me at the time, but I said, Sherry, look up. And the ship came in, it was hovering over us. And like I said, what I experienced, I don't know, we never spoke of it after. It was really odd. I had that remembrance. And then it took off into the bush, and I watched it leave. It just diminished, and as if it went and it became really small and disappeared. But it was huge over us. It was huge. And so it's just really odd how those things were never spoke of, and that we just carried on. And it was just like, oh my gosh, you want to talk about Twilight Zone and the occurrences and different things. And so, yeah, there we go. They're much better. Now it's all gone. The throbbing is gone. The pain is gone. Thank you, Epsom salts and companies and creation who make it possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now that was 44.55 seconds for me to have to do that, to take care of that situation. But who knows who did that curse, that hex, however it may be. They have to live with that now. The council will take care of it. it's like they're abandonments of time, and they just robbed me of 44 minutes and 55 seconds and more as I videotape it and share with you and hope and pray that whatever it may be, that you come to a solution as to why this may be, and for myself as well.